Hello, my name is Dan Skipbound, and this is my review for Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming is the latest reboot of the Spider-Man franchise after the three Sam Raimi movies and the two Mark Webb Spider-Man movies. This time, Sony and Marvel have collaborated on a film that is supposedly in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it can connect to a possible Sony Spider-Man universe at the same time. So we have Tom Holland cast as Spider-Man / Peter Parker. And, you know, like most Spider-Man movie, he's kind of like a high school kid. He has to play a high school kid. But this time around, they cast someone that was actually young enough to look like they were in high school. Of course, he's got, you know, his buddies in school, you know, Michelle and these kids like that. You know, of course, Flash Johnson, played by Tony Ralvi, or you might know him from the Grand Budapest Hotel, and a couple other movies that Dope that came out last year. So. But, of course, we know a little bit about Spider-Man's backstory already, so they don't really go too much into his backstory because of what happened in Civil War. We already had the connection between Robert Downey Jr. and Peter Parker. So we've been introduced to people like Aunt May and Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau, and, of course, Aunt May by Marissa Tomei. So these people have already been established in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so we don't have to really flesh out Spider-Man's origin too much. So we kind of get to have fun with him as a high school student. You know what I mean? And he has a friend named Ned Leeds, and Ned Leeds and him are basically inseparable in this film. That these two are kind of close buddies. You know, I can't remember the actor that played Ned Leeds, so I'm sorry. But let's go to the villain side of things, and we have Michael Keaton, who plays Adrian Toomes, otherwise known as the Vulture. We have this situation where he's scouring New York and he's getting all these kind of alien tech stuff. And then he's told, well, you can't get this stuff because it's controlled by Damage Control. And Damage Control is the cleanup company that takes care of all of any kind of major disasters or any kind of villain kind of things when it comes to alien invasions or any kind of big superhero battles. So he's kind of struggling because this is his livelihood. This is what he does. He salvages his stuff. He turns it into things that can make him money, and he can take care of his family. Fast forward, he is got a kind of little base in a warehouse, and he's actually fixing a lot of this stuff. He's got a guy known as the Tinkerer, and he helps him, you know, jerry rig and fix all this stuff and make it into viable selling weapons. He also has a guy by the name of the Shocker, played by Bokeem Woodbine, and the Shocker is one of his henchmen. And, you know, so he has some guys that work with him, but pretty much it's Adrian Toomes who's the head of this group. These guys are supposed to go around and just sell the stuff and make him money so everybody stays in business. But what happens is a bumbling kid known as Peter Parker stumbles on this operation. And of course, Peter tries to get Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark / Iron Man involved. He keeps up talking to Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau. And these guys don't want anything to do with him. So Peter basically has to take things into his own hands and see what's going on with these guys. Why are they selling this tech? And who are they selling to? What's this big operation all about? And you know what's going to happen. He gets in over his head, and he has to get helped by Tony Stark. There's a huge scene involving a ferry, a Bronx, or a ferry in the water outside of New York. You know, these big cities have these ferries that take people from islands to different areas, and they go back and forth. They can travel that way, back and forth to work and so forth. And there's a big arms deal going down on this ferry. And of course, all hell breaks loose. The ferry's going to get almost destroyed because Peter gets involved with people that he doesn't know how to deal with, and he has to get rescued by Tony Stark. So this is pretty much most of the movie. When you're dealing with the storyline where Marvel wants Peter to create kind of a John Hughes style romantic, high school romantic film, well, they succeed in that as well. We have a kind of love interest with Liz, and of course, I said Tony Revolori is Flash, and we got Ned Leeds, and we got Michelle, and so we got all these kids, all this. We have this high school vibe of this academic team, and they're all buddies, and they hang out for lunch, and they do all this stuff together. There was so much about this film that was believable if you were a Spider-Man fan, if you were a person that read comics like I did. I've been reading comics for 30 years, and I have not seen a Spider-Man film that captured the essence of what Peter Parker and Spider-Man and the high school nature and the home nature and the superheroing nature of what this. There's some scenes at the beginning of the movie. It's just so funny. Some of the goofy quirkiness and some of the things that happen with Spider-Man. You know, a scene involving an ATM and some thugs wearing Avengers match. You saw it in the trailer, so I'm not really giving it away. But this has so much fun and enjoyment. If you're a comic book fan, if you're a Spider-Man fan, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a movie fan, I don't think there's a reason why you would not like this film. Of course, Marvel and Sony have to take some creative licenses with some of the characters and the likenesses of characters and so forth. But this is the movie universe. This is separate than the comic book universe. But take it for what it is. This is a enjoyable, wonderful, fun, action-packed movie. And if you're a fan of movies, I'd be shocked if you do not like Spider-Man Homecoming. I give this film a big see it. I can't wait to see the character of Peter Parker / Spider-Man and more Marvel and Sony movies down the line. So this is my review of Spider-Man Homecoming. If you want to find me, you can find me at Dan Skip Allen on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Also, I do a podcast called The Best Damn Movie Show with my co-host Vincent LaSpada. You can find that on the Facebook page of The Best Damn Movie Show. Also, the YouTube page of The Best Damn Movie Show. And then I do 2 other shows called The Top 5 Weekly on the Best Damn Movie Show page, and the 52 Must-See Movies and Why They Matter, a special series of videos that myself, Andrew Cabral, and Stephen Billings are doing to show you how much we love classic movies and why all these classic movies are so great. Go to the Best Damn Movie Show page. I just uploaded Andrew and I's latest video, To Kill a Mockingbird. And of course, we have more videos coming out. It's a series of 52, so stay tuned for those. So, goodbye.